Ready? Chapter 22. Rescue Mission.
We will not go on a rescue mission. You know our orders.
Atle and Joa was at each other's throats again.
Ilsa is my general.
Joa was agitated.
So is Ayla, and last I checked, she outranked you. So our order still stands. We cannot risk everything for one officer. We don't have any idea what to expect, or even where to look. Atle stood firm. Our creator can locate her, Joa replied. And then what? Even if we have her pinpointed, we still don't know what place she might be held at, what security measures are in place, or how many of the Wolf Army soldiers we might face. In order to find her, we would have to bring our creator with us. We are here to bring her safely to Niila and Ayla, not put her in harm's way. Atle knew he was right. He didn't want to leave Ilsa behind, but going on this side mission would be a blatant disregard of their orders. Joa went silent. There was nothing he could say to that. I'll do it, Aino said calmly. Keon looked at her in confusion. You'll do what?
She met his eyes. It's up to you if you want to come with me or not.
Keon's eyes widened. No, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely coming with you. He was not going to stay at the camp and become an easy prey for Lia. I'll come with you as well, Joa spoke up. No, you're not, Aino gave him a tired look. We would need officers who are stealthy. You're about as discreet as a rampaging elephant. Atle snickered. Good one. The blood armies don't do stealth, we do fear, Joa said, offended.
I've noticed, Aino replied as she turned to Keon. What do you think? How many would we need? She whispered to him. Well, unless you want to reveal that it's you who are healing everyone, should bring someone to carry Ilsa. I'll be carrying you, and the other officer will be carrying Ilsa, so we need at least one more person on top of that to defend us on the way back, if needed, he whispered back. Aino nodded in agreement. We will only be a small group of 4, Keon, I, Arvid and Edda. If the 2 of you are okay with it? Aino turned to the officers.
Arvid looked very pleased. Oh yeah, I'm 100% ready, he answered.
Edda, on the other hand, just answered with an unemotional yes.
Aino continued.
This will be a rescue mission, nothing else. Avoid all confrontation possible. Leave your cloaks and your weapons here. We will be traveling as light as possible.
Oh, how cute!
Lisa's voice seemed to pop out of nowhere.
It's a job for the tiny squad,
she said, clapping her hands in excitement.
Arvid snorted. You're just jealous that you didn't get picked.
Edda and Arvid took off their cloaks and handed over their weapons to the other officers. Edda had to reluctantly leave her bow and arrows behind. She had never done so before. Arvid, on the other hand, took quite some time locating all the knives he had hidden on him. Every time he seemed to be done, he pulled out yet another one. How many of those do you have? Keon asked in amazement.
I don't know. More than I need, I suppose. I kind of forget where I hide them sometimes, Arvid said and scratched his head.
Aino felt someone tapping her shoulder. She looked around and saw Colonel Teal looking back at her. He opened his hand, revealing the blackberries he had just picked. She scratched her head in confusion. Do you want me to eat them? She asked him. He shook his head. No, I thought maybe you could bring them with you. To Ilsa. They might have been starving her, so... Now Aino felt even more confused. But Ilsa isn't your general. Teal looked a little shy. I know, but she's still the warrior Ilsa. You can't help but admire her if you see her in battle. As long as she doesn't cut your head off, of course. He stopped himself and cleared his throat. What I mean is, a peace offering is good. Aino put her hand over Teal's and closed it. I think you should hold on to them until we're back with her. That way you can give them to her yourself, she said and smiled at him. As the tiny squad set off into the night, Joa crossed his arms back at the camp. He was pissed. Once again, he wasn't the one to help their creator. He was a 3-star general, yet she picked 2 lower-ranked generals over him. Atle stood beside him. Neither of us would have been fit for the job anyway. Joa looked at him.
Was Atle trying to make him feel better? He felt highly skeptical towards this sudden new friendly attitude of his former enemy. We should get some rest anyway. The doctors will be the ones on watch tonight, Yua said to him. What do the yellow wolves want from her anyway? Atle asked. Yua shrugged. I know they won't get anything out of her. She knows how to keep her mouth shut. I'm more surprised that she only took out 30 of them. I wonder what they used to take her down with. She's normally a lot tougher than that. The tiny squad had arrived at the previous scene. Aino looked around. The ground was covered with dead soldiers. She climbed down from Keon's back. Her blood, mixed in with the blood from the late Ritva, was there. She got down on her knees, put her palms to the ground and focused. Where was it? She closed her eyes. When it came to her blood, it was hard to bring it back to her body outside of it. She had to be really close to it, as it had to travel through something living, or something that could transport it to her. The ground was moist, making it easier. It wasn't many drops, but it was still her blood. She could feel the moment it touched her fingertips. She absorbed it into her body right away. Arvid walked up to her. So, what are you doing? Is this some sort of fancy tracking method? Because I'm pretty sure Ilsa isn't here anymore, he asked her. Aino stood up and wobbled. Give me a moment. My blood pressure just needs to catch up. Keon quickly kneeled with his back turned to her. Get up on my back before you faint. She nodded and did as he said. It would be bad if her blood loss slowed them down now. Do you know the place where we are going? Arvid asked Aino as they were running through the night. I'm not completely sure, but I do have a pretty good hunch on where they're keeping her. In the old world, the place was called Salberga. It was a Class 1 high-security prison, surrounded by a 6-meter-high wall, as well as 3 different metal fences. In the old world, at least. I'm not sure how much of that still stands today, but if I ever correctly pinpointed, that's where we're headed, Aino answered. Sounds like the perfect place to hold someone like her captive, Edda commented coldly. Someone like her? Keon asked. Edda looked at him. Ilsa was a yellow wolf. She fought beside her father and mother long before she was even an adult. Unlike many others, she didn't desert because the ruler killed her family. Her family is very much alive, still fighting as yellow wolves. She left because she felt it was the right thing to do. Ila's blood army was perfect for her, made her into the warrior she always wanted to be. She harbors no ill feeling towards her family for staying with the wolf army. It's not like they have much of a choice anyway. If they were to desert like her, they might not be as lucky as she was. Looking at what went down earlier, they're still after her, to this day. A yellow wolf never gives up.